is it even important? At the crucifixion, God the Father placed all the sins of mankind, including yours and mine, upon his Son Jesus Christ, and God poured out his wrath upon him. Jesus stood in our place and bore the punishment we deserve. Jesus cried out in a loud voice, my God, why have you forsaken me?" Jesus was separated from his Father for 3 hours. God signified this by blotting out the sun until Jesus had paid the price for sin in full. So the sun being covered in darkness represented what was happening to the sun as he was covered by the darkness of our sin and judgment. But is there any historical evidence to verify that 3 hours of darkness really happened? Actually, there is. We'll quickly review just some of the highlights from dozens of ancient historians who documented this event, and we'll use both Christian and non-religious sources. We've already reviewed the writings from 3 biblical authors who recorded them shortly after Christ's crucifixion. Then, for centuries afterwards, historians continued to write about this supernatural event in ways that were remarkably consistent. Let's review just some of these. Outside of the Bible, the oldest account was written by a historian named Thallus in AD 52. Scholars believe that Thallus recorded the event in a way that minimized the supernatural, trying to explain it as just a natural eclipse. Though we no longer have Tallus's original writings, we have the quotations from his works made by later writers such as Julius Africanus, a leader in the Roman Empire who was instrumental in setting up the public library in the Pantheon at Rome. Julius wrote the 5-volume set titled The History of the World in about AD 221. In this work, Julius wrote, Thallus, in his 3rd book of Histories, explains away the 3 hours of darkness as an eclipse of the sun, unreasonably as it seems to me. For the Hebrews celebrate the Passover on the 14th day according to the moon, and the Passion of our Savior falls on the day before the Passover, but an eclipse of the sun takes place only when the moon comes under the sun. And it cannot happen at any other time but in the interval between the first day of the new moon and the last of the old, that is, at their junction. How then should an eclipse occur when the moon is almost diametrically opposite the sun? The writing of Thallus shows that the facts of Jesus' death were known and discussed in Rome as early as the middle of the 1st century, to the extent that unbelievers like himself thought it necessary to explain the matter of darkness as a natural event like an eclipse. But Thallus did not question the historicity of Jesus, nor the